about union. It's not union. All the 22 parts of our constitution. Three I have not written here because I don't know them right now. My teacher will tell me, and I only know. So I told you every part of 22, all the amendments that they came inside of. Like, remember the fourth A was of your fundamental duty as of like 42nd 1976, and same as 14A, and then 9A, then 9B. This is 73rd 1992, 74th 1992, 97th 2011. Then I talked about schedules. So this is the short form, tiers of old PM, Panchayat Raj and Municipality, and 8 were your at the start of the independence, and your 4 were added later on. This is all the thing that I talked about in here. Then this is Indian Government Constitution Act, then British, what we took from British, then what we took from US, then what we took from Irish. I talked about that. I talked about Canada too. I talked about Germany, and its other name is your Germany. Other name is your Vietnam, Weiner, Wiener, Wiener. Then South Africa, then France, and we also talked about Japan. Then we talked about all the fundamental duty. 51A, 42nd, 1976, Sardar Saran Singh Committee, Varna Committee. Then I talked about all the fundamental duty. There are total 11 duty at the independence. They were 10. Now one added in your 86th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1906. This on 19, your not 19, 2002. These all are the duties. And there is emergency there. I talked about national emergency, Article 352, financial emergency, Article 360, President rule, Article 356 and 365. Then I talked about some little bit about Article 32, semi qua non. This is a permanent body, and the semi qua non, yeah. Soul of the Constitution. The Constitution will be a nullity without Article 32, and you have first one is. And the first one is like the Constitution would be a nullity without Article 32. The second one is like there are some writs there. The third and fourth are different. Let me see what is the actual procedure. So first one is power. So first clause of Article 32 is Parliament can. So sorry, the yeah Parliament can empower any court to become or to able to issue writs. That's it is in this article. And then no, this is the third one, C1. The first one is that you should have an appropriate proceeding of a fundamental right. The second one is the writs. The third one is Parliament can empower any the court. The fourth one is uh, you have the right to go to Supreme Court, and this right cannot be suspended. This is also your right in Article 32. Now, if we have talked about this, now today I have to talk about your history of the Indian Constitution. So let us turn it like this way. Is it okay this way? Let me check on internet how it is looking. Yeah. So today I have to talk about Indian Constitution history. Yeah. So Indian Constitution history. So I will tell you this on the basis of dates. So first of all, 1934, your M.N. Roy presented the idea of your like the constitution and all that to our Indian citizens. Then 1935, your Indian National Congress came and they presented the idea of constitutional assembly. This was their idea, and they asked for this, and the constitutional assembly was officially officially formed there. So if they asked you where the constitutional when which year the constitutional assembly was officially formed, you would say 1935. Then now let's talk about the National Congress. Then now let's talk about in 1938, your Jawaharlal Nehru officially joined this Indian National Congress in their project of making of constitutional assembly, and in this they asked for your adult franchise. So adult franchise was asked in your 1938, and this adult franchise was asked, and this is not universal. Okay, so this is only adult franchise. Basis on like adult franchise is like they were earlier talking about on voting they should be like educated and all those stuff and like have some land and all that, but we talked about like they should be adult and they should be like adult and they should be have like if they're adult they are sensible enough to be voting and all that, and our ministers are not themselves like they are like intelligent or something like that. They're not an you could say like what do you call that for a word for who studies a lot, uh, I don't know. I have read that in mangas and all that. Novice is the different opposite. Uh, yeah, they are not like good in studying and all that. The ministers also. So adult franchise we asked for, and this adult franchise that at the time of independence it was 21 years plus, but it changed to 18-year plus with your 61st Constitutional Amendment Act of 1968. So 68 this, so 9 minus 1 is 868. You can remember it like that. So 21 to 18 was changed in 20, sorry, 61st Constitutional Amendment Act of 1968. Okay, now in 1940 they Britishers, so like Britishers were agreeing to us because like your from your 1938 till 1945 they were in the World War Second. They were fighting this. So in 1940, they said to us that you can have your constitutional assembly, but you need uh, you need to participate in the war for us. After your participation we will make you a constitutional assembly, but as we are an Indian we denied this offer because like we don't know when their war would end and would they even make us a constitutional assembly. They are doing this since your 19 not 19 1601, like when your first Britisher came to India. His name was some like Warren. No. His name was some Alexander or something. Let me check on my history notes. So the first Britishers came to India in 1608. Sorry, 1608, 608, 608, and the first Britishers were William Hawkins. William Hawkins. And he came in 1608. William Hawkins, and he came to 1608, and he came into court of Jahangiri. Jahangiri court. Yeah, so William Hawkins were the first Britishers who came to India for trade and all that, and William Hawking was his name. And when he came to India, he came to Jahangiri court. Jahangiri court. Was that a place name? Jahangiri court. With his court in 1508 on and Christian. First Britishers, 1960 Portuguese. So first was Portuguese, 1498, then Dutch 1605, then English 1608, then French 1668. Yeah, this was some off-topic stuff, but this is topic 2. But what we can do? Okay. So yeah. Where we at? We were here. Now talking about this William Hawkins. Now, when we asked for this then they gave us the opportunity of like this thing. Then we denied it, obviously, because we knew that this is a scam. Then in your 1942, your Cripps. See, what is the spelling? See, Sir. It is Sir Standoff Sir Stanford Cripps, Crisps. He came to India and he told us that we make your Constitution Assembly first. This would be made first, but you have to come in war. So we denied this too. Next was your 1946. Here 3 people came. First was your Stanford Cripps. Second was your Alexander. Third was your Lawrence. These 3 came and they proposed us to make the Constitutional Assembly. And when they did said that they would make Constitutional Assembly, and they did, and we made the Constitutional Assembly around this time only. And the head of this mission was your Lord Pathetic. So this was a pathetic mission. So Lord Pathetic. And the Viceroy was Walwell. Wavel. Walwell. Lord Walwell. Now your Constitution Assembly was made, and the Constitution Assembly was of 389 members. So 3 square is 9, subtract 1, which is 8. So 389. Not it was made like this, but I'm just saying to remember it. My ma'am told me. Now from this, your 2 were separated. Your 196 were your what do you call them? British India seats, and 79s were your princely state, which was in 7th part of, or you could say chapter of our Indian Constitution, which was repealed in your 7th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1956. And this was divided into 2 parts. First was 192 and therefore, so 192 seats. This was 11 governor provisions, It's what like Bihar, UP, Bihar, UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Assam, and Bengal. Now, northwest frontier. This was the British, the Pakistani, and Punjab and Sindh provisions, and your Bombay and Madras. So UP. So you can remember it like this: UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh. So UP, Bihar are together. Madhya Pradesh. So everything at a middle. So Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, then Assam, then Bengal. Then these three are from your southwest side, northwest frontier. So this southwest here, southwest, or you could say south. Not south. This is your west side. Sorry, southwest will be this. So this is northwest frontier, Punjab, Sindh. Then these are the international type thing, Bombay and Madras. Now from these three, this your four. These four were your, you could remember as A, B, C, D. So for B is your Balochistan, C is your Kurg, D is for Delhi, and A for Ajmer. And these 79 are some states. I can't know everything. If I knew that, I would not be sitting here. 292. Okay, so these are 292. 296, sorry. Yeah, my math is not mathing. Yeah, this is going to be. Yeah, so these were the states and the seats and division of seats and all that. Now, if I had to talk about this some more, so British allocated some British provision seat were divided in three communities. So these your seats were divided into three communities, and they were Hindu, Muslim, and Sikh. So Hindu seats were allocated as of like ministers, and we still use it, but it is quite different. It is like 10 lakh divided by number of ministers. And Muslim and Sinds were not in this type of the ministers were not chosen by this type of process because they didn't have that much population according to like made them by 10 lakh and this stuff. So there was not in this one. Then representative of each community will be represented by categories like for general only, general vote, and Muslim. And so yeah, so and I don't like this wave thing. And this was this. And so yeah, so the like if there is a Muslim guy and he want to vote for Hindu, that can't be possible at that time. So the Muslim were vote for Muslim and Sindh was Sindh for and Hindu for Hindu. That's why they had this type of voting system at that time. And yeah, this is there. Then represented, yeah. And these were all the 296 British India seats they were fighting for this. And the 79 which were your princely states, these seats were like there was no election for 79 seats of these, like the head of that area would nominate the person he want to be the head, or sorry, the elected member in the member. Okay, so like the person doesn't want to do that much work, so that's why they used to nominate the person here. Okay, so now that's the important point too. And the election seats, which after election the 296 seats were there, and from this much the Indian National Congress won 208 seats of Indian National Congress. And yeah, I forgot to tell you one thing. So when this mission was formed, so they in 1946 they said that they would make only one constitutional body. The Muslim League was asking for two constitutional body, but they said like, first of all you make one, we will think about second one later. That's the thing there too. And 208 were won by Indian National Congress, and your Muslim League won 73 Muslim League, and your alone, like separate persons who were, these are 15. So Muslim League, here they were in minority, not in minority in general, but they didn't have that much voting. So they said that you give us a separate state to live in. That's why they are Pakistan now. Okay. And Constitution Assembly part from was Amu Swami, Madras. Constitution Assembly part was Amu Swami, Madras, Andhra, Bengal, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, so from Madras, okay, so from this, from Madras, some I know, not know, but I'm just reading it. Some from Madras were your Amu Swaminath from Madras, and from Bengal, I think so. Bengal, a favorite doctor, B.R. Ambedkar. So from Madras, it was Amu Swami. So Amul Dood, you can remember. Amu Swaminathan, Amu Swaminath, and from Bengal. Bengal was the capital, and it got removed, and then it became Delhi of India. You should know that much too. And your Dr. B.R. Ambedkar became here, was the minister here. Then your now when this happened, now your Constitutional Assembly had some meeting. So this is important. So these meetings were, first meeting held was on 9th December of your 1946. This is before the independence. So 9th December 1946. You could remember it like 9-2-11. 9th December 1946. And here your this was your first Constitutional Assembly meeting, and Muslim League boycotted this because they wanted a two constitutional body, and we had only one. And your here the temporary president was made was Dr. Sachinder. Dr. Satinder Sinha. Now on 11th December 1946, your Dr. Dr. Rajendra Prasad became your president of your constitutional assembly, and this is our first president too, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And only people with tax property and qualification, limited franchise and other franchise. So limited limited franchise is when like only people with your property tax and this is called limited franchise, and your adult franchise was your people who can vote above 21 year plus, and this was changed in your 61st constitutional amendment of your 1968. So I told you 9 minus 1 is 8. I also told you this earlier, and it was changed to 18 in 1968. It changed to 18, okay, with 61 constitutional assembly amendment. And yeah, this concluded this of this assembly and all that, the second meeting and all that. Now there is important here, objective resolution. objective resolution Objective resolution was brought up by your Jawaharlal Nehru, and Jawaharlal Nehru came up with the objective resolution. And objective resolution was like giving the pre-idea what would be the inside of the constitution, and you could say that it was kind of a preamble of the constitution too. This was a preamble too, not preamble officially, but it kind of act like a preamble. uh, and it laid down the philosophies of the constitution's structure. This Constitution Assembly of India, independent, sovereign republic. So, from objective resolution, we would remember as of Sir Jawaharlal Nehru. So, Sir is your sovereign, SOVERIGN, sovereign, independent, and republic. So, sovereign is like we can take our own decision, and from this like there was a lot of drama. Just till we read ahead, like there were a lot of case here, Bharti Nanda case and all those. So like the preamble is said that we are our own nation, and we can take our own decision. What the heck happened? Oh no, can I scroll down here? Let me do like this will be easier. So like the Bharti Nanda case and all those, like preamble is like we are sovereign from preamble, we say that, but like on we were the Muslim was saying that we are not sovereign as of as of we can't take the decision, and we can't remove the Pakistan of constitution, the India. So they were saying that you can't do that from the sovereign body, and some decision were there, we can't take our own decision. So after some Bharti Nanda case and all that, we made preamble a part of the constitution. Earlier it was not. So that's we can take our own decision, the sovereign thing. And independence is independent. You are independent. Republic is like your head is made after elections. From election, he is made the head. So that's the whole republic meaning. And some some people, some nation can be republic, but their head can be uh, not as a republic officially, but like you could say the Kim Jong Un, but he does the election too, but everybody votes for him. So that's a Tanasai type thing, but it is called republic. They calls themselves Republic of North Korea. So this question I actually did wrong on my test. So I thought that not every nation can be republic. I thought of example of North Korea, but they call themselves republic. So you can't call a people a whole election, whole body as a republic on just basis of election. There should not be any hereditary part in that constitutional body. That's the main thing. That was the right option in the question. Next, yeah, that is done. Yeah, इंडिया के अलग अलग हिस्से हैं, स्टेट्स एंड यूटी, ये अपना काम खुद करेंगे. Except power of union will be handled by the union. No state will handle those. So union have different power like residuary power. So they will handle by that those power by themselves. No other state can interfere in their power. So that's basically what they are saying. And by this we provide us them all the citizens SEP, social, economical, and political justice. We provide justice of social, economical, and political, and freedom of thought, expression, speech, faith, belief, and economic and worship of economical and political. Then came your Independence Act, and it modified the version of preamble. Independence Act. It is a modified version of preamble. It is a part of, or it is taken it into preamble. So Independence Act 1947, it is a series of regular way. So some representatives which were like so this is 1947, right? So there's some princely states came back to us of like the becoming a normal state. So these were like Banda, Bikadari, Jaipur, Udaipur, Patiala, Rewa, and the assembly after the independence of Mountbatten Plan on 3rd June of 1947, most princely states took their seats in the assembly. So from your 3rd June of 1947, most of the princely state took their seats as a state in the constitutional assembly body, and the assembly was made fully sovereign body. So the constitution assembly. So I told you sovereign meaning, right? Here, sovereign. So Sir as Jawaharlal Nehru. So we made fully. We were made as fully sovereign body, so we can take our decision fully by ourselves. And this this constitutional assembly body had like two purposes. First for was lawmaking, second was constitutional procedure. So lawmaking, so constitutional procedure head was your Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and your lawmaking body head was GV Malvekar. And yeah, it took our constitution to make this constitution from your 26th November 1946. This is our constitution day 2, from 26th November 1946 till your 26th January of your 26th January of your 1950. So we took 2 year 11 days, no, 2 year 11 months and your 18 days. Okay, it is not this. It is 22nd January 1946. 1957 it should be. Yeah, 1947. 46 was too ahead of time. Yeah, and some the seats of like your seats. were like all the princely states. Like earlier the seats were 296, so earlier the princely states were your 79, so most of the princely state joined, and there were now 299 seats as of like your whole there were no princely states in these seats. And if your 93, how many princely states were there? 93, okay. So like 93 princely states, so they shifted towards 70. Ugh. Ugh. And making of constitution, enacting of constitution, making constitution was made on your 26th November 1949, and it got enacted or implemented in your 26th January of 1950. 26th November 1949 is called as Constitutional Day, Constitution Day. And there was some in Constitutional Assembly. There were total number of 7 major committees. So you can remember as first committee was given to your doctor. Uh, your first committee, major committee was drafting committee, which was given to your doctor, your Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and there was Krishna Iyer, and there was T.T. Krishna Iyer, and there was your uh, no. This is different. This is different. This is different. My bad. My bad. So this is different. This is different. So in a major committee in the Constitutional Assembly, there were total 8 major committee. So and these 8 major committee. So first of all, you should remember that union slash state was given to Jawaharlal Nehru. Then your steering and rule, steering and rule was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Then schedule area and benefit for them, and your advice giving advice to them was your uh, uh, this was given to your Sardar Patel. So 2, 2, 4, 5, 6. One is drafting committee, your Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and one was given to your is K. Munchi in this one too? No. So how many were in the state one? Let me see. Dr. Sardar Patel have had one. So Sardar Patel also had two. So two, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad had two, steering and rule of procedures. So two, and Jawaharlal Nehru had union two, three. Okay, so he had three. So this is four. This is 5, 6, 7, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is 8. So three were in union or state. Then two were on your steering and rule. Two were on your SCST, schedule, tribe and area, and your procedure and advisory to them. Rule was given to your steering and rule was your Dr. Rajendra Prasad. This was Jawaharlal Nehru. And two, schedule uh, to schedule area and advisory to them was your Sardar Patel, and one. So 2 to 4, 5, 6, 7. Then one was your drafting committee, which was your B.R. Ambedkar. Now this drafting committee is also asked as of separately, and this drafting committee had 7 members. So that's why I was getting confused. So this drafting committee had 7 members, and these member and they had 7 member. So now these member you could remember as your one was SMS. So this was some Muslim guy. His name is Said Muhammad Sudhan, and some business. So KM Munshi. Here was one Krishnachari Arya and one TT Krishnacharya, uh, and N Gopala Swami Iyer. Not that, I'm saying Aladdin Krishna Swami and TT Krishna. So these are two, and and so Swami Bolo Gopal, Gopal and Gopal and Madhav. So Gopal Bolo, Madhav Bolo, Swami Iyer Gopal. So Madhav. So Krishna name these are Madhav, Gopal, Krishna, Krishna, TT Krishna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one was yourself, the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So TT Krishna, Krishna Swami Iyer, not Krishnacharya Swami, and Gopala Bolo, Madhava Bolo, and SMS. And there were some minor committees too. Some minor committees were on like financial and staff committee were Dr. Ali Prasad, generation. Oh, sorry, generally credit. So credit we give to Krishna. So Aladdin Krishna. So house committee was your Radha and your uh, Ram. So it is B Patabai Sita Ramaiya. Then order of business we give to Munshi. So K. Munshi. Ad holic committee of national flag is given to your Dr. Rajendra Prasad again. Then your Constitution Assembly or function of Constitution Assembly, G.V. Malvekar. G.V. Malvekar is also were were our lawmaking body head. Then your commission provision is given to B.T. Sitaramaiya again. The linguistic procedure is given to S.K. Dar. टर्स लैंग्वेज बोल रहे हैं. You can remember it like your friend. He is trying to speak English, but he is not able to converse it, and he's saying it at a very feared language and not able to enunciate the words. So SK Dar for linguistic, and expert on finance. Finance is Dr. Rajin Prasad, but expert on finance is Naladi Rajana Sarkar. Then special provision for examining of the drafting committee. So special provision on drafting committee is your Jawaharlal Nehru. Adholic on the citizenship was S. Vacharya. Bhattacharya or citizenship Vacharya. Drafting committee, I told you. Then new chapter. Functions of this. How many are here? I want to start something else. Then function of this boundaries of political community, so we can understand the political communities on the basis of constitution is also called a justice of the government, rule of the state, supreme law of the state, fundamental law of the land, and basic structure of the policy. So fsb fsbrb fsbrb function of state, basic function of state, fundamental law of state, supreme law of state, rule of law, and then justice of the government, basic law of the state. Then it can declare the define the nature and authority of the political community, express the identity of the value of the national community. So you can just on the basis of their constitution, you can just identify their like what they are in the community, like if they are fully Muslim, if they are secular like India, which doesn't have a single language which is like their official language. We have multiple languages as of like your I told you, as of like eighth schedule we have like 22 official languages, and at the start they were 14 at the start of independence, and 8 were added later on. Then 15th was added in your 21st constitutional amendment act of your 1950s 1967, and the then there was some more added which was in your 71st constitutional amendment act of 1992. This was so first one added Sindhi, this 21st, the 71st added your Konkani, Mathili, and no Konkani, Manipuri, and Nepali. Then your 92nd constitutional amendment act of 2003, this added your Dobli, uh, DBMS. So Dobi, Bodhi, Mathi, Sathli, and yeah. So you should remember this. So from this, you could basically tell that we don't have a single language which is our official language. We are secular, and we believe in every religion. And yeah, so our constitution is enacted as of like it was went from process to process, and it didn't evolve. Like we didn't had a constitution which evolved over time. That's a basic thing you can remember. And our constitution is also known as conventional constitution, and enacted can also be called as conventional constitution. And our constitution is written constitution, as basically what that's why I'm writing it. If it was not unwritten, that I would have not paid much attention to it. And our constitution is neither rigid nor flexible, and our constitution is quasi federal. So we do have federal structure, but we do have union too. So our constitution is like we have like division of power between state, union, and concurrent. This is also from your TEARSOF. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So seventh schedule, we have the difference between state, union, and your concurrent, the division of power between these. So we do have this type of structure, but we do have union. So our constitution can be called as the your quasi federal. And yeah. And some example of unwritten constitution, unwritten constitution example is your New Zealand and Ireland and UK. And your written is your USA, Canada, Japan, France, and India. And enacted constitution example is America, India, Indian constitution, as in American also got your independence, so they were also captured, and that's why they are enacted. And India also got captured, that's why we are enacted, and we are not evolved. Okay. And then we have rigid and flexible. So rigid is your UK and New Zealand, so they have only some 5 6 articles, so like they are rigid. And New Zealand is like also rigid. And flexible, there are not many flexible example I could say to you. Then yeah. And article 354 tells about the money involved in your emergency, during the emergency, provision related to distribution of revenue during the emergency. And art- chapter 3 is a salient feature of the constitution. So our constitution have like preamble, uh 390 articles, 22 parts, 8 schedule, and right now we have 470 articles, 25 parts, 12 schedule. Then amendment since 1951. there were like 20 articles, one 7 parts. Now there are 95 approx articles, 4 parts, which were amendments. Okay, and the USA had 7, Australia 128, China 138, Canada is like 147, India is like 470. We are much. That's why our constitution is called as biggest constitution. And federal scheme biasness. India has a federal type of government we had, but we are called quasi federal because we have union too. And India is described as unitary in spirit and quasi federal by KC Weir. So this quasi federal was said by KC Weir. And your Bergin federalism is said by Morins to Bergin Morris. Then cooperating federal said by Garvin Austin. And federalism plus central tendencies Ivy Genis. So federal plus centraling tendency. So federal plus centrally tendency Ivy Jeering. Casey Weir said that we are unitary in spirit and quasi federal, and Ivy Jeering said that your federal and your we are federal and your central tendency. And our parliament is also called as West model of the government. British parliament is located in Westminster is a place where British parliament is there, so that's why we are constitution is called as Westminster constitution of the Westminster module of the of the government. And yeah. So I read two places. First said the 61st Amendment changed our adult franchise voting from 21 year to 18 year by 61st Constitutional Amendment Act of 1968. Now I'm reading in second place. It is saying universal adult franchise, which was in 51st Amendment of your 1988. So 21 to 18. So 1988. So first of all, my question is this: these two are different, right? So adult franchise and universal adult franchise, they are different. And I want to ask you that in universal adult franchise after 1968, they no in 1988 they enacted this adult franchise. I want to ask you that, or like 1988 they added the adult franchise, or when they added the adult franchise. And after adding, they changed it to 51st Amendment in 1988 to 18 years. So can you tell me the whole history?
Yes, those are technically different, though closely related terms. Universal adult franchise is a broader concept that basically means all adult citizens have the right to vote, regardless of caste, gender, etc. This principle was adopted after India's independence. The 61st Amendment, specifically, was what changed the voting age from 21 to 18 years in 1988 and implemented in 1989. Does that clarify things?
What I read 61st Amendment in 1968 changes adult franchise to 21st to 18.
You are right to be confused, but the correct information is that the 61st Amendment happened in 1988, and that's when the voting age was reduced to 18.
No,
The
that is about
1968
adult.
reference.
That is about adult universal adult franchise. I'm talking about only the adult franchise which was set by your Jawaharlal Nehru in your 1938. Sorry, your yeah 1938 only.
You are right that Jawaharlal Nehru did declare in 1938 that the Constitution of Free India should be framed by a Constituent Assembly, elected on the basis of adult franchise. However, this statement was a demand for independence and a democratic process, and not the constitutional amendment itself. The actual reduction of the voting age to 18 years did happen through the 61st Amendment in 1988. Is
In the adult franchise, the voting age changed from 21st year to 18 year. So, in which constitutional amendment that happened? Is universal adult franchise and adult franchise different terms? Did in adult franchise the voting age change from 21 year to 18 year in your 61st amendment in 1968? By which constitution amendment act the Indian citizen has been reduced from 21 to 18? It was 61st amendment 1989. They are taking one more year off. What is going on? Yeah, first. Now here they are talking about 1989. What's going on? The 61st 1988. 61st of 1988. Okay. Is the 61st Constitution Amendment Act of 1968 a thing? Came into force of came into force in 1989. Okay. Okay, so it is 1960 1988 61st in 1988, but this is universal adult franchise. I'm talking about adult franchise. Universal adult franchise is in 90, like this is normal one, which is of like your 61st Constitution Amendment Act of 1988 and enacted in came into power in 89. Okay, I guess it. I get what that they are trying to say. Symbol in the Constitution Assembly is elephant. The uh, advisor is BN Rao. Advisor in Constitution Assembly is BN Rao. Symbol is elephant, and the secretary was your HV Langier. So लंग हो गया है वो secretary बन के secretary was HV Langier. Symbol was elephant, and BN Rao was your MN Rao. BN Rao was your advisor. Your secretary was H.V. Langier. Then chief of the drafting man of the constitution was uh, S.N. Mukherjee. Then choreographer of English was Ram, and English did Ram and Hindi did Krishna. Ram and Krishna. Then don't then font is italic, and English did Ram and Hindi did Krishna, and secretary was your Langir, HV Langir, and your advisor was BN Rao, and symbol was elephant, font was italic. Then decoration was Nanda. Decoration was done one Nanda Lal Bose Sachinder. And yeah, I want to talk about this preamble stuff. I will talk about this uh, right now. So, so this whole thing about the case of like the preamble. First was Beru. Bari case, which were happened in 1960, Beru Bari case, and this was also a first joint sitting, if I'm not wrong. And these joint sitting, first joint sitting was, I also did it recently on the class. Uh, Give me a second. Yeah, so dowry case was the first when the joint sitting of the both the houses happened, where deadlock situation happened. Then joint setting of your what dowry prohibition, then banking service and all that, then prevention of terrorism. So banking also happened in 1977 and terrorism happened in 2002. So dowry, DBT, database management system, dowry prohibition, then 1960, then the base banking was in 1977, then terrorism happened in 2002. So Beru Bari case, they said that in this case, 1947 Berubari was a place where in Bengal, now in Bangladesh, since the place was max Muslim population, they demanded to include it in Pakistan. India refused. The court happened in the case. So like we said that we are sovereign from independent so from our preamble, but our preamble was not a part of the constitution at that time. So they said that you can't declare this as if yourself as a decision, because you are not sovereign body. So that's what they said. The Bangladesh had some, not the Bengal had some Muslim people which were now in Bangladesh as of territory. So they said that they want a separate nation, and you can't take your own decision on basis of this. And that's what Berubari case in 1960 was. And Golkanath case in 1967 was the same stuff. Then Keshwananda Bharti case in 1973. So Keshav Bharti Nanda case 1973. This made the preamble part of the Indian Constitution. So Bharat. So Keshav Nanda Bharatiya case of 1973 made preamble part of the constitution. Okay, so you could remember as B for Berubari, G for whatever Gonglak, and BGKL. So BKL, you can know what I'm trying to say. So Berubari, Guru, then Keshav Nanda Bharti case. L is your LIC case, and this was like the preamble is not an integral part and all that. They all were saying that it is not an integral part, you can't take the own decision and all that. Now we will talk about all the articles till 1 to 62. Then I would do study with you too. Like I don't know after I know what they are, but I have not learned it. I would be back in some minutes. Nobody is watching me, so it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, it was not on. So I'm doing all the articles from 1 to 62. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, so your first till fourth is your first pair, and this pair. So the first article is basic information about your states and all that, in which so first article is your basic information about the Indian states and all those, like 28 states, 8 union territories. And what is the state? Like it could be a state, it could be UT, it could be captured territory. Captured territory, first we captured Pondicherry in 1954, and we made it a part of Indian Constitution, a 40 Constitution Amendment Act of your 1962. And then Goa is on your 12th Constitution Amendment Act of 1962. Same with Daman and Diu. And then Bangladesh, some territory, which I was also talking about in Bharti Nanda case. It was your, not Bharti Nanda case, it was your Berubari case. Southern Bangladesh territory that we captured in 100 Constitutional Amendment Act of 2015, if I'm not wrong. I'm highly sure that this is right, and I'm right too. Yeah, so this is all about your first article. It is inside the first article, this all stuff. And yeah, next moving to second. Second is like established and not established states will also can be considered state. Established are established, is unestablished is like if we captured the POK again, then it would be our state, and we the people inside that would be our. So yeah. And then third one is like the you can change your name, shape, size of any state, like your Uttar Pradesh changed into Uttaranchal, and Uttar Pradesh and Uttaranchal changed into your Uttarakhand. So prime example for that. And fourth is second and third don't need any amendment to do this. This can be done by parliament with simple majority or with signature of president. So this whole is of your this whole thing is of your citizenship, not citizen. This is union. This all is of union. Okay. Now let's moving on towards 5 till 11. So you can remember this like this. Okay. So like what you can do is fifth one would be your basic information. here about your citizenship, like your from your 25th 26th of January of your 1950. Everybody who were born before this would be considered citizen of India. And if somebody is not born here, and if he is 5 year he lived prior to in India, should be considered as citizen of India. That's in fifth one. Sixth one is your like there are some dates here. So 26th is fixed in everyone's. 25th is 26th January. So this talks about the people who were in Pakistan and and came to India. So it is 26th January till your 26th January till your 3rd of July of your 1987. these people who these people would be considered as your citizen of India, as if their one parent is born in India. Then 3rd July to your, this is not 3rd July, what is it, I forgot. uh it is your 19 July, 19 July of 19 July of 1948. What? Okay, 19 July of 1948 till what? 1st of July of 1987. Okay. Okay, that is of different case. This one is of like 19th of July. Okay. So 19th of July of your 1948. From here to there, it will be considered a citizen of India. As of like one parent should be born in India. In 19 July from here, okay, the Pakistan to India. So he should come in India prior to this. And this one is your India. He was in India, went to Pakistan, came. So seventh one is India to Pakistan to India. This one date is your 14th August of 1947. So 14th August of 1947. So you can remember as Pakistan in, Independence Day. That is from that time. Before, if somebody come in India would be considered citizen of India according to Article 7. And in Article 6 it is 19 July 1948. If somebody come from Pakistan to India, then before this, then he will be considered citizen of India. Then eighth one is like eighth one talks about your eighth one talks about your India to any state, or any, not state, India to any country other than Pakistan would be like if they came back and born in India and their family and parents were born in India, they will be considered a citizen of India. And ninth one is like single citizenship. You should have single citizenship of Indian if you want to be India. Then 10th is like parliament can make changes on this article. And 11th is parliament to regulate and right of citizenship by law. This article gives the power the parliament to take back the citizenship. So 11th one gives power to parliament. I told you this is a parliament related to take back any citizenship. Now going here to you need to know from 12 till 13 is one group, then 14 till your 18 is one group. So here 12 to 14, 12 to 13. 12 is definition of state. 13 is your any law made which violates your fundamental right would not be considered as a official law, would be considered as null law. That is in 12 and 13. 14 is have two, one and two clause, you could say. First clause says that equal protection of law. Second says that equal protection before law. So second one is positive, first one is negative. First one was taken by Britain, from Britain, and second was taken by USA. And equal protection before law gives equal protection to like the poor people, and like not give that much protection to the rich class because they don't need that much, but they would get their fundamental rights and all those. So yeah, that's in 14. Then 15 talks about your uh let's talk about this. 15 talks about like no discrimination on based on caste, religion, sex, place of birth, and all of these. There are four clause in the 15th one. First one talks about state would not do any or this discrimination. Second is region. Third is children and women would get some benefits, so you can't do anything on those. Then society, they made these some positive changes, so you can't do anything on those. Then 16, the heck happened? Then 16 also has four clauses. 16 is on like equal job opportunity for everybody, so that is on the clause 1. Clause 1 is that. Clause 2 is your like equal job opportunity, and there will be no discrimination on basis of caste, religion, sex, descent, and all those stuff. The third one is that the parliament can make any bring any relaxation to some communities or those stuff like the border area given to SSC GD in exam. And then the parliament, then there is state can bring any changes. So this is on the article 16. And article 17 talks about your no untouchability allowed. Article 18 is no title allowed other than the your doctors and your arms of people. And this 14 till 15 is called as equality. Now going on here till 19 till your 22, this is your freedom. 19th is your samro. SAAMRO. S is your society, I think so. S is your speech and expression. This is you can make any group, so association. No, this is any group, so assemble. So speech, assemble. Association is the third clause. So A, B, C. So 19th of B is your association. 19 of C is your no. 19 of B is your assembly. 19 of C is your association. 19 of D is your move to any part of the state or the country. Then A, B, C, D, E. E is your Samro. R is a reside any part of the country. Then E, F. F is removed. F is gone to your article 300A, which is right to property. Then E, F, G. G is your any organization or any of your occupation that you want to do, that is in this article. Next is your what the heck? Next is your article 20. Article 20 give you power of 3, which is no double jeopardy. No double jeopardy is given to you. Then no ex facto. Then no self incrimination. So no double jeopardy, no double thing you would go for in court and you would get punished on those. No self incrimination, you can't give your own gawai. No double jeopardy. No ex facto is like past thing would not affect in your present judging. Then 21st is your 20 was this. 21st 20 is this. Then 21st is your protection of not protection. 21st is your protection of life and personal liberty. So liberty and all those these uses there. Then 21st of A is your 86th amendment of your constitution amendment of 2002, which is like 6 to 14 students should study. This is in your fundamental right. Then 22 is your 2 on arrest and detention. Arrest is like you got your lawyer, you would get your lawyer, you would get your information, you would get 24-hour. Detention is like lawyer information and 3 months with your high court advisory. You have to ask for 3 months. Then going here 23 to 24, then 25 till 28 are two groups. So 23 to 24 is your you could say 23 till 24 is your exploitation. So right against exploitation, you can't be exploited. That is in 23rd. So nobody can exploit you. That is in clause 1 of 23. Clause 1, that nobody can force you to work and exploit you. Second is like state can force you to work, but only on like war and those type of situation. Like this is also a fundamental duty for. Then 24 is like no like hazardous place. Student, sorry, the children under than the 14 years would work there. Then 25 to 28 is religious. So I remember this as of like a story. So my story, you could say, here is, let me choose a better color. So my story here is, uh, first you will trust your girlfriend in this is religious stuff. So trust mean like you're trusting your religion. You can trust any religion. Okay, first you're trusting any girlfriend, then you are having affair. So you can have any freedom of managing of religious affair, any affair. Then you pay tax on her coffee, so you don't have to pay tax on your religious stuff. Then you become dumb, so you have opening the institutions. So yeah, this is religious stuff. Then going till 29 till 30, these are 29 is your these are like your education. So first one is your, you can open any educate, no, first one is your definition. Not, there is no definition of minority. So it is this one is your protection of interest of minority. So protection of interest of minority is in 29. Then in this, the first clause is your there should be protection of minority. A second is no citizen shall be denied of accommodation of education institutes and minority of state. So if there is a institutes of first clauses, there should be no minorities. Minorities can be your linguistic based and a religious based, so anybody can be minority, so there will be no discrimination in clause first of 29. Second is, second clause of this is the, there would be no discrimination on basis of education. Like if it is a state funded education institute, then you can go anywhere in that, and any religious can go there. And 30 is like, there are three clauses here: first, second, and third. First is like is this is like you can build any of your religious institute here. And the first one is that same stuff, any religious institute can be built. Second one is like your if there is a breakage of any religious institute which is not funded by state, then the religious institute would be broken, but they would be compensated on their land and property. Third one is, third one is like if there is a land you have to break of like both of Hindu and Muslim, you would not discriminate on one. That is on this. Now 31 is removed, so I need to check if 31 article is removed or not. So I was when I was reading the fundamental right, I read that 31 was removed. So is it actually removed and there is no 31 article? And if that, then which article is it in now?
That is correct. Article 31, which dealt with the right to property, was removed from the list of fundamental rights by the 44th Amendment in 1978. It's now a constitutional right under Article 300A, which just means the government can deprive a person of their property, but
So 44th Amendment of 1978, you said, right?
yes, that's correct.
So so so
The
so
44th Amendment.
so 31st is removed on 44th Amendment 1978. So I read the 19th article in which the uh, A, B, C, D, E, F. So F part is removed from 19. Clause F is removed and it is put in your 300A2. So is these two same, the property one?
Amendment Act of 1978.
Okay, I got it. So this is in 300A under 44th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1978. Now 32 till 35, Till 35, this is your fundamental rights end here in 35. So 32 is your Supreme Court. So this all are residuary powers. Okay, so 33 is like the government can put restriction on the armed service people on their social media platform. On they can put restriction on them. 34th is martial law, which was put it by your Britishers. And is there an amendment on this? I don't think so. No, there is not. And 34 is that. Then 35 is that Parliament can do any changes on these articles and all of these. Okay. So from 35 till 51, this is DPSP. Okay. So 36 is introduction of DPSP. What is DPSP? DPSP are only basis of linguist. Sorry. They are only on the DPSP are only the basis of your legislative and your executive. There is no judiciary in this DPSP. 37th is your like DPSP are non-enforceable by law. 38th is your social, economical, and political justice we provide in your these DPSPs. 39th, 39. What was 39? 39th. 39th was like edits or what it is called? Edits or what? What it is called? Dialects is in here. So like dialects like educate means of livelihood all for all the citizens, and distribution of national of the material resource of the common good, prevention of construction of wealth, equal pay, equal work, then protection of works and health, and then health of development of children. This is all in the dialects. Then 39th of A, this is free legal aid. Then 40 is your Panchayati Raj. Then 41 is improvement on education and all of these stuff. Then 41 is that education and all of those stuff. Then 42 is your maternity leave, like pregnant women get some benefit on the working condition, and working condition should increase in the 42 as of that. This is of state and stuff. Then 43rd is like state must provide some endeavor like living condition. 43rd for A is your management of industries. 43rd of A is your management of industries, opportunity, and cotton industries. So cotton industries and all of these are in 43A and 43, and management of industries in 43A. Then 43B is your municipalities, if I'm not wrong. No, 43 of B. So B is your cooperative society. So municipality is in part 9A. So it should be not hit this. So ninth B is your cooperative society. So 43B also be cooperative society. Then 44th is your uniform civil code. Then 45, so 43 is your like cotton industries and some benefit on the social health on all of this stuff. Then 43 is on your management of industries. 43 is your cooperative society. Then 44th is uniform civil code. 45th yours is 86 constitution amendment act of 1976, not 76, it is 2002. And so 6 till 14 children should study and all this stuff. And 47th is your betterment of society. 51 is like DPSP would be used in the benefit of the state. For 51 of A is your fundamental duty. Now I have to write 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. Now 50, 52 is like, so you can remember as PR. So president. So 52 talks about president. President is the first citizen of India, President is your nominal head. President is your de jure head. President is your titular head. And yeah, then 53 pre is your president is have the executive head of the union. The executive power shall vast in the president. This is here executive head of state, and nominal head of titular head. Okay, then E is your election for president, and M is your manner for election of president. So election of president, there would be Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, elected member only, then state legislative assembly elected member only, then Delhi and Pondicherry members, so elected member only. This is would be in election. These people can vote on president election. Then manner of president election. This this include is your PRST, so proportionate representation of single transferable vote. So PR is a proportional representation, is total number of people, total people upon total ministers into 1 by 1000. This is proportionate representation. And single transferable is like, first of all, a person who is going to vote should have a 50 members backing him up. Then that one person is there, so this person uh, should be voting here, and the president to be nominated here, this president should be backed by 50%, and that 50% should be backed by 50%. And that's how a president candidate get nominated. But not a thing here. So proportionate representation of single transferable vote. Single transferable is like the 50 for one person would go and vote here, and he will vote on like 1 2 3. He would choose preference, and the most preferable candidate would become the president. This is proportional representation of single transferable vote. So prem uh, TR. So this is term. So there is term is of 5 year. TRE is your I always forgot this, eligibility for re-election. So eligibility for re-election is infinite in India. USA, it's 2 time. Then TER track. Q is your qualification for president. He should be a citizen of India, doesn't hold any post of profit, and should not be any member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So TREQ. So then C, which is your, I always forgot this too, which is condition for becoming the to hold the office of president. So yeah, that's what I told you. So condition. So O is your oath and affirmation. I is your impeachment of president. Then COI come in time. T is your term of holding of the office of the president. So till 5 years he should hold the office of president. If he gets sick or any reason he is not able to take holding the office of the president, then the vice president will hold it. If he is not there, then any of the Supreme Court high judges or all of those can hold it. Now I have to study the vice president. Vice president is in article 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. No, he is not in these one. He is not in 70. So president is similar to vice president, obviously. So 63 and 52, there would be obviously introduction of vice president and president. So not president, but in 52 also. So introduction of president. So 63 would be introduction of vice president. There should be a vice president in the country. This is your 63. Then 64, it tells about that the vice president is ex office chairman of Rajya Sabha. So he is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So he can hold the post of ex office chairman, and he hold the post of vice president too. So this is here, and so the chairman is the like main head of the Rajya Sabha. You could say the Council of State is the Rajya Sabha. The House of People is Lok Sabha, and yeah, this is in here. So he is the head of the Council of State, which is Rajya Sabha. Council of State. So 63 vice president, 64 ex office chairman, 64 is that, 65 is what? Oh yeah, 65 is like if president goes in some honeymoon or something like that, then vice president can take office for the time being, and this condition can be that vacation and trip and relation reaction of 6 month जब वाइस प्रेसिडेंट प्रेसिडेंट तब वहाँ राज्यसभा चेयरमैन नो डेप्यूटी चेयरमैन विल बिकम राज्यसभा चेयरमैन. Okay, so 65 has a long history, I would say. So if 65, so let me just revise. 63 is like vice president, 64 is ex office chairman, power of the vice president, that he could be the chairman of the vice president, chairman of the sorry Rajya Sabha Council of State. Then 65 talks about the vice president to become the president if president goes out or death or anything happens to him. And so chairman position gets vacant because a president cannot be a chairman or ex office chairman. He can't hold three posts. So the deputy chairman comes in his place. This is in 65. 66 is election of vice president. And in election of vice president, this would be from nominated and elected member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, single proportional representation or single transferable vote, then 35 years of age. Okay, he also we have to 35. Okay, qualification for the election of member Council of State as he is ex-office chairman. Okay, so 66 talks about some stuff, and it talks about election of vice president. It talks about vice president will be ex-office chairman. It talks about election would be held on Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Would they be a state assembly too? Nominated, elected, and elected member of electoral college of MP of both houses. There is no qualification qualified for the state council. Okay, so there is no state legislative assembly here in the vice president. So election is in 66, and 66 is election, and he hold the ex office chairman position. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, elected and nominated member vote him. President only nominated, and he should be 35 years of age. Yeah. So 63 vice president, 64 tells you about. So 63 is vice president, 64 tells about ex office chairman. He would be chairman of Rajya Sabha too. Then 63 that, 64 that, 65 tells you about your like if president goes somewhere, then vice president can be the head. Then 65 tells you about that. 65 tells about the president. If somebody gone somewhere, so he can be the vice president, can be president, and deputy chairman can be chairman. And 66 tells about election of president. So what would be the manner of election of president, and ex office chairman, and 35 years of age, and all of those stuff. Now what is 66? 66 is no impeachment. Vice president term. Okay, so 66 is term. Term, then oath and affirmation would be there, I think so. Term, no, term and re-election of vice president. Okay, re-election is first. Re-election. Then what is term? No, term is 67. Term is 67. 68 is re-election. 69th is oath and affirmation. And 70th is discharge. So let me do it here. So 63 would be vice president. 64th would be ex office chairman. 65 would be your, if president goes somewhere, then vice president can be the president, the vice current president, and chairman here. So the deputy chairman can be the chairman. Okay. And 66 talks about election and ex-office chairman and 35 years of age, and ex-office chairman and Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha nominated and elected member both vote him, and yeah, 35 years of age. Then 67, 66 is that. 67th is your re-election is first year, right? So re-election of president. And 68, re-election happened. Is 67 term or what? The 67 is term. Okay, wait. That's why I'm doing revision. I'm not gonna erase it. I'm gonna write it again. 63 is vice president. 64th is your ex office chairman of Rajya Sabha. 65. 65 is your 65 is your, if president goes somewhere, then vice president can be the president, and the chairman is vice president, so the deputy chairman have to become the chairman if the vice president become the president, or the chairman become the president. Then 66th is your election process. So Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha elected and nominated member vote him, and 35 years of age, ex office chairman. One more stuff is there. What is that stuff? Qualified member to become the council of state. 66 is election and all that. 67 talks about his term, his 5 year. Then 68 talks about re-election. Then 69 talks about oath and affirmation. And 70 talks about termination of the discharge of the president and all of that. So yeah, now I know this. Now I have to erase everything and write again. Okay, 63. Wait. Okay, so 63 is vice president. Then 64 is ex office chairman, ex office chairman of Rajya Sabha. 65 is your vice president president goes somewhere, that or something happened to him, and vice president become president, and they have to do everything under the 6 month time period. And then if vice president stays to vacant, then deputy chairman become the vice president. Then 66 talks about election of vice president. So like Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, nominated and elected member. And 35 years of age, ex-office chairman, and all of this stuff. Then 67 talk about your. We had talked about election. Now we'll talk about term. His term is 5 years. Then 68 talks about he, 68, 67 talk about his term. 68 will talk about his condition to become a reaction, really relaxation of vice president. That removal, removal होगा भाई. Re-election of vice president. Yeah, so term, then we will re-elect him, then we will talk about oath and affirmation, then we will talk about when he is removed, then whatever stuff we have to do, discharge of the president. Re-election is in 68 and discharge in 70. Then 71st is election of a president or a vice president. In all doubt of election of a vice president, and then in the final, any of the provision or subject of the vice president and president will be the parliament. So parliament will take anything if somebody something had done. Empower the president to in relation of grant pardon and all of this and all this. Yeah, so pardon. So parliament have the pardoning power. Not parliament, president have the pardoning power. So first one is pardon. In this power, so first power of president is pardoning power. Like if somebody have a that case of Fasi, then he could be changed into like the life imprisonment. That is pardon. Second is re sorry commutation. Commutation like commute, so you are doing it, reducing the like 50 year to 10 year. And third is remission is like gravitating of provision decrease. Okay, so commutation and remission are quite same. Commutation is like reducing the power, and remission is gravity of the punishment is reduced like 50 years to 10 years. Then respite of his action, he is getting reduction is his stuff. So punishment change on basis of health. Respite, Reshma is not well, so he's getting changes on his health, so this cannot happen. Then reprieve is to hold. Deprive is like giving bribe to somebody, so bribing you are doing, then so it get hold. So first is pardoning power, second is your commutation, third is your remission. Submission is like reducing the gravity of the power. Then commutation is like reduction of the power. Then respite is like health related stuff. Then your bribe is your bribing somebody. 71. 73. What does it start? Extent of union of exertion. From here, some difficult stuff is there. I think I will do it later on.